News with no bias, news with no exceptions, delivering nothing but the truth. This is Prime Source Network. Your news, our business. Broadcasting live from the different parts of the Philippines, from Luzon to Visayas and Mindanao. I'm Rachel P. Cervantes, serving to you the hottest and leading news of the hour.
And I'm Jan Kenneth M. Saldo, your co-host for today.
Today, let's tackle the special report of the hour, which has been one of the major issues for decades in the Philippines, about land and agrarian reforms. Today's special topic is entitled The Land and Agrarian Reforms.
That's right, partner. As more challenges arise, land ownership has been a major issue for Filipino farmers. Let's begin with the root of land reform in our nation, and let's have Ryan Dane Africa to fill in the details. Ryan?
Thank you, Station. The story of land reform in the Philippines started long before our independence. It was the time during the Spanish colonial period, and most of the lands at that time were owned by friars and wealthy families called hacenderos. Most farmers worked as tenants, giving their portion of their harvest to the landlords as a form of payment. But when the Americans came, they introduced land ownership laws. However, the land inequality continued. After the independence, presidents like Ramon Magsaysay and Justado Macapagal started land programs to help the tenants own the land. But the biggest reform came on October 21 of 1972, when President Ferdinand Marcos signed the Presidential Decree No. 27 that granted ownership of rice and corn lands to the farmers.
I am proclaiming today land reform throughout the entire Philippines. We must allow the tenant to now acquire ownership ultimately of his land, but he must engage in cooperative effort. We cannot just keep on subdividing land. We must cooperate. We must now establish cooperatives of production, cooperatives in irrigation, cooperatives in rural electricity, cooperatives in consumption, cooperatives in everything that we do, because we are a small nation and most of our people are small people.
This benefited around 750,000 farmers and covered nearly 1.4 million hectares of land across the country. This moment marked a new chapter in the long and continuing journey toward land equality in the Philippines.
Despite its limitations, Presidential Decree No. 27 was a significant step. In fact, this reform inspired future reforms that expanded the rights of the farmers. And that's all. Back to you, Parachong.
Thanks, Ryan. Now let's look at the next big milestone known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Report Program, or CARP.
For that, let's have J. De Los Santos with the story. After the 1986 People Power Revolution, President Corazon Aquino signed the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law of 1990, also known as Republic Act 6657. This law aimed to distribute land and crops to farmers. To give a brief introduction about the CARP program, it covers agricultural lands, whether they are privately owned or publicly owned, and regardless of the crop or tenurial arrangement. But its goal is simple, to ensure that those who till the land can finally own it.
Mayroon kaming project na cashew processing. Nagsimula kami noong 2003. Nung nag-umpisa po kami, binigyan na kami ng mga gamit. Kaya lang, hindi pa kompleto.
Malaking tulong po yung kanilang pagdating dahil unang-una po nakita nila na marami silang pwedeng maituro sa amin na pwede pang maidagdag sa amin pong pangkabuhayan. At sa mga seminars, training, so doon po nagsimula na yung dati po na maliit na kita, ngayon po ay meron na po na masasabi naming mas sigit pa sa una kaysa dati.
CARP was institutionalized through the Proclamation No. 131, which created the program and its funding mechanism. It is also known as the Agrarian Reform Fund. Executive Order No. 229 outlines how land would be acquired and distributed, and also Republic Act 6657, which is also known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law of 1988. These laid down the framework for land redistribution, valuation, and support services to farmer beneficiaries.
Agrarian reform in the Philippines has a strong legal basis. It's a constitutional right of the farmers because it is enshrined in the Constitution. The Congress has passed a law to ensure that the farmers can get the land. The agrarian reform covers private and agricultural lands and also public lands, which are to be distributed to the farmers. It's a simple process. In fact, at present, it takes only 3 months to distribute the land.
Lahat-lahat na ginawa ko para mapag-aral ko lang ang mga anak ko kasi hindi ko gusto na sumunod sa akin na hindi nakapag-aral. Kaya wala, kung hindi lang ako marunong dumiskarte sa buhay na kampo lang ang trabaho lang sa kampo. Hanggang ngayon wala pang kung talaga bang magkalupa kami o hindi. Dahil may karapatan kami, dahil trabahante kami, inijik kami, pero hindi kusang loob na umalis, kundi maraming demolisyon, 2 ulit na demolisyon. Ginamitan kami ng pulis, ng mga goons. O ano ba ang gusto nyo? Mamamatay muna ang matanda na to bago magkalupa?
It becomes more complicated and problematic when the landowners resist the implementation of the agrarian reform program in their lands or the coverage of the program. They filed several cases, criminal and civil cases. They terminate the farmers once their position is in favor of the agrarian reform. And they use the courts, the police, in order to harass the farmers.
CARP was a historic program that promised farmers' rights as well as government support. However, it faced problems with implementation because landowners resisted and government support was delayed. The success of CARP relies heavily on coordination among agencies. The Department of Agrarian Reform leads the program, supported by the Land Bank of the Philippines for land valuation and various government departments for support services. CARP was strengthened under CARPER, also known as Republic Act 9700, which continued land distribution as well as government support.
Napakasarap sa pakiramdam ng isang magsasaka na makikita mo yung iyong mga halaman ay lumalago, yumayabong na talagang ikaw ay sa sarili mo at sa mga magsasaka ay natutuwa dahil ito na yung kumbaga ay benepisyo ng mga magsasaka at ito na sabi yung income ng mga magsasaka na talaga namang taos sa puso yung pagmamahal sa mga halaman, yung pagmamahal sa mga tanim na kung paano siya ay gumanda at yumabong.
According to the Department of Agrarian Reform, 4.7 million hectares of land was distributed to 3 million beneficiaries. Back to you, host and co-host.
This time check is sponsored by Ken's Malunggay Pandesal.
Malunggay Pandesal, tigdosra, lamian na og masustansya pa. Palit na mo, sana all, papapdol.
That's a huge number, but is the program complete? Not quite. But the fight for land ownership is far from over.
That's right, partner. Even though many challenges remains, from land conversion to lack of farming support, let's go back to J. De Los Santos to further address the situation. Despite all the land distributed, the farmers failed to properly make use of it. This is because they lacked equipment, irrigation systems, and the proper markets.
Kay ang among gihuna-huna og panglantaw mauman ang dakong abot sa kaumahan ug dakong income.
Ang dako gid mo problema kaming mga mag-uuma mao ang gastuhan sa land preparation sa usa ka hektarya nga mokabat sa 5 pingon sa 6,000 ka pesos. Para sa abaw kaming mga ordinaryo mga mag-uuma, bugat-bugat gini sa among bulsa kining gastuhan nga 5 sa 6,000 pesos. Sa unang panahon maayo pa ang akong tanom bisan og dili pa nako gagamitan og abono. Nagkadugay na akong daro sa akong uma, nagkaminos ang tubo sa akong tanom. Nabatikdan ako nga sige og kabanlas ang akong uma panahon sa ting-ulan.
Dugay-dugay na ko nag-garden ani nga luna. Sukod sa una, ako na nagitamnan og mais og mga utanon. Gamit ako og abono og chemical aron mo taas ang akong abot. Pero nagkadugay, nagamahal ang presyo sa abono og chemical. Mao nga naglisod na kami og kapital para ipalit. Kung dunay laing pamaagi nga minus og gasto, pero taas og abot, mao'y among sundon.
To address this, the Department of Agrarian Reform decided to promote sustainable farming, farming mechanization, and farming communities.
Yung aming gagamitin sa bukid, hindi namin alam kung kailan namin darating. Pag dumating ito, kadalasan huli na at kapos pa. Dahil napapautang kami kagad, naiplano ko po kung anong binhi ang aking itatanim. Naiplano ko kung ano ang mga inputs na gagamitin ko na pagkakapangailangan ng itatanim sa naaayon dun sa teknolohiyang umiiral. At dahil doon, nadoble o natriple pa ang aking ani. Ang patikita natin naging triple.
From the vast haciendas of the Spanish era to the farmlands of today, the struggle for land ownership remains a defining part of our nation's history.
Land and agrarian reform is more than just a government policy, but it is a symbol of justice, equality, dignity for Filipino farmers.
Real reform isn't just about land titles. It's about giving farmers the power to improve their lives and the future of our nation.
For Nationwide Special Report, this has been Land and Agrarian Reform. Once again, I'm John Kenneth M. Saldo.
And I'm Rachel B. Cervantes.
This is your field reporter, Ryan Eric DNB Africa, signing off.
This is Jay De Los Santos signing off as field reporter.
I'm Rachel B. Cervantes.
And I'm John Kenneth M. Saldo. We're signing off as your
host
and co-host.
Thank you.